Season 9 of Drake's Migration Nation is powered by Hydra Trek, powerful, rugged, amphibious vehicles.
Sometimes you just gotta introduce yourself.
Coming up this week on Drake's Migration Nation.
Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Oh, I like it when they fall from the heaven. We had to do that in self-defense. They go, bring him, kill him. Just like that. Boom. There.
Get ready.
Gonna be a good morning. Yeah.
Drake's Migration Nation is powered by Hydra Trek.
Well, one thing's for sure. Regional host Trey Crawford has a knack for finding new and unique areas to hunt ducks, especially mallards. This week's episode, we're down in the Boot Heel region of Missouri with friends Baird Graham, Jamie Pollock, and Jamie's son James in a unique area of the Migration Nation.
I got a call from my friend Baird Graham in southeast Missouri, and he told me that they had birds that had shown up and were being pretty successful. So we put together a road trip and made a dash to southeast Missouri. As I rolled into the Pinhook Hunting Club, which is surrounded by a 10-mile pond refuge, which is a big area, public hunting area in southeast Missouri. I met up with Baird and his partner Jamie and the film crew from Migration Nation. We convened at the cabin and enjoyed a fine barbecue meal provided by my sister at Capitol Smokehouse in downtown Little Rock. The next morning we get up, gather all our things, headed to the blind, and having not seen that blind the night before, I didn't realize exactly what we were going to be hunting out of. To my surprise, Baird and Jamie had done a great job of building this blind around these trees on a point out in the middle of this flooded cornfield, and it was nice.
Gilly. Nice shot. Nice shot. Shoot.
Oh, we had two good things happen there. We knocked the greenhead down and got all these birds that were over here on this other side of this corn, got them up, so we're not having to compete with them. It is like this kind of weather. We have no wind, but there's a lot of birds flying, so we're supposed to pick up a little wind. I think we'll get that, we're good.
To keep up with all the hunting action, check us out on the web. Season 9 of Drake's Migration Nation is powered by Hydra Trek, Powerful, rugged, amphibious vehicles. Rio Ammunition. Share the experience. Higdon Outdoors. Get real. Boss Drives. Take charge. Prodigy Boats. Custom made for the way you play. Realtree. Family, friends, and the outdoors. And by Drake Waterfowl Systems. Innovators in waterfowl hunting.
We got in the blind, got everyone set in their place, and we had a great flight early. Ducks worked just like you asked for them to. Right here in front of us.
Have you boys ever killed a mallard hen?
I have never.
They taste pretty good. Kind of like a doe.
Hey, bird in hand, brother, bird in hand, you know? Had one that locked up and played. He brought the wrong card to the dance is all I can say. Oh my goodness, look at all these birds, look at all these birds. Somebody get him, get him, get him, get him. Woo-hoo! Wound him up tight. Nice, nice. I love it when they play like that. Especially them big old green heads. Singles, doubles. Good job, Snoop. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Boom. Nice. Throughout the morning, we had singles, doubles, 4s, 5s, 6s, just like you like it. I mean, we didn't have the big bunches come in and having to shoot into big bunches. We were able to pick our greenheads from, like I said, out of singles and small groups, which is ideal for doing what we do.
Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him.
Hey, we had to do that in self-defense. They were about to cover that side of the hole up, you know? Sometimes you just gotta introduce yourself. Kill him, kill him, kill him.
To keep up with all the hunting action, check us out on the web. Season 9 of Drake's Migration Nation is powered by Hydra-Trek. Powerful, rugged, amphibious vehicles.
Kill him. Kill him. Just like that.
Stay.
Boom. There. Trying to crawl over here on this right side, but James let him know that wasn't the place to go.
Jamie and I got to sit down and visit. I got to pick his brain about some things, and I was pleased to find out that Jamie Pollock is a real duck hunter, and he knows his business, and he informed me a lot about what's going on in this part of the migration nation. So, Jamie, we are in the middle of a 10-mile pond refuge, correct?
That's correct.
And you and Baird have this property that is surrounded by the refuge.
On 4 sides. This piece right here is on 4 sides.
Well, that's close enough to being surrounded.
That's like the circle of wagons.
As far as history, having grown up here all your life, what kind of crops and wetlands and stuff on the refuge, what do they provide for ducks and geese?
Well, Missouri, when you're farming on a refuge, you leave the state's third in the field, and you take your 2/3. So if you're growing soybeans, you leave a third of them in the field. If you're growing corn, you leave a third of it in the field, and you take your 2/3. Now, they like to leave it skips too,
Right.
and they work at it pretty hard.
I like to know that the people in the community are willing to do stuff like that, you know, and provide the food and the water for these birds, because Lord knows on dry years like this, it's rough, man, because they get shot everywhere they go. You know, it's just hard for them to find any place where they can be away from people.
When I was a young man, we used to have a lot of cotton in this county, and cotton in the 70s went into a real cheap phase for several years, and we had 13 gins, and now we don't have a gin left. So we don't raise cotton here anymore.
Right.
And everything that went into cotton is now planted in corn. And cotton land, when you hear about, oh, that's cotton land, well, that's corn land too.
Right.
The same quality applies to the soil.
So it's primarily corn, soybeans, rice, what else?
Wheat.
Wheat.
That's it.
Jamie is very knowledgeable about this area, the layout, the way everything is put together, from the refuge over to the private sector, because there are other clubs that surround 10 Mile Pond, but Pinhook lies right in the middle of it.
The hunting dynamics changed here since I was a kid.
As it has anywhere.
It used to, when we didn't have a refuge, you know, the ducks were spread out all over the county, and you find little pockets and move to them.
Right.
And of course, we hunted the river a lot more.
Yeah.
And now we don't hunt the river so much, although there is some excellent hunting on the river.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to know the river. The river can be pretty treacherous.
The river can be mean.
I'll tell you something that's really changed here since I was a child. When I was a child, you wouldn't see a deer in this county. If you did, it wouldn't last long.
Really?
And now we have a pretty good deer
Well,
population.
yeah, coming in yesterday, I saw lots of deer.
You know.
Lots of deer.
So the conservation people have been doing their job pretty good.
Kill him.
He ain't going nowhere.
Doubled up. Doubled up. I just didn't know how far right he was going to swing. I just wanted to make sure I was backing you up, Jamie.
It don't hurt, a little extra pump in there.
Not all bad. Not all bad.
I don't think there's anything better than being able to spend time with friends in a blind and literally get to pick your shots and joke at each other about missing a shot or having someone have to follow up someone else's shot. But that's just the way that day went. We had plenty of birds, and we could pick and choose. And at the end of the day, everybody had them a limit of greenheads. And in my opinion, there ain't nothing any better.
To keep up with all the hunting action, check us out on the web. Season 9 of Drake's Migration Nation is powered by Hydra-Trek, powerful, rugged, amphibious vehicles. Rio Ammunition, share the experience. Higdon Outdoors, get real. Boss Drives, take charge. Prodigy Boats, custom made for the way you play. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors. And by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting.
Get it.
I won't have one shell. Shoot. Attaboy, fetch him up.
I met Baird several years ago in Paducah, Kentucky at a duck calling contest, and we hit it off right off the bat. Great guy, loves duck hunting like myself, and he's over the years, we've stayed in touch and visited from time to time, but this was actually the first time that we had ever been able to duck hunt together.
It's nice to be able to come up here and hang out at the farm and, between dove hunting and duck hunting and just relaxing and playing and riding the four-wheelers. And I like to be outside. My kids like to be outside. We, push the outdoors, not push, but want them to be outside. They don't need to be on a tablet or doing that kind of stuff. They need to be out here. They learn a lot out here. There's just so much to do. Just in our 200 acres of timber or green timber over there, you can spend all day walking through there looking for stuff, for sheds, from deer, and just a neat place, man. There's always something to do too if you want to work.
Baird is a workhorse. He keeps the wheels greased at Pinhook, being the younger guy in the bunch that is able to do just about anything, and such a gracious host. He and Jamie both went out of their way to help us, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate what they did for us. Nice. Well, we had to work a little long for that one, but he finally made his mind up. Baird parked him right where we needed him. Oh, I like it when they fall from the heaven. Sure will. Hey, Barry, according to this weather, we've got 50-mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain, lightning. Not very conducive for trying to pursue waterfowl.
and we're like, it's 20 to 25 minutes out. What do you think? We need to rock out? Yeah, I would think so. By the time we get everything packed up and get out of here, it's gonna be on top of us. Well, what y'all want to do? Pack up and go? Let's go.
Yeah, we better go.
Yeah, let's go.
We had a great time. We cooked good. We ate good. Had a great blind hunt out of. Had Baird's young stud dog Snoop gathering up all the fowl. And overall, it was a great trip. And I can't begin to thank Baird and Jamie enough for having us in their part of the Migration Nation.
With the extensive management at Pinhook, it's no wonder the guys were able to get the job done in Missouri. And it just goes to show you how key management and location can be in your hunting success. Thanks Baird and Jamie for allowing us to tag along and hunt mallards in the Boot Heel region of the Migration Nation.